Hello and welcome to Just One More Watch, and welcome today to one of my favourite types of video, a double unboxing. I love these vids because it means I've been spending my money on new watches again. I get to see them for the first time and share that joy with all of you. I am making this video a bit later than I had anticipated actually. These are both AliExpress purchases from the last sale. If you watched my sale top 10 video, I said I was buying 3 watches, one of which arrived weeks ago. Indeed, I've already made the video. I'm wearing the watch today. It was the Addies Dive 1000 meter that I paid far less than $100 for. These are the other 2. They were a bit late in arriving, relatively speaking, but AliExpress were kind enough to give me a $1 voucher back per watch as a late delivery apology. Better than nothing, I suppose. I'll leave links to everything in the description of the video from the stores that I bought them from, but what did I buy? And are they any good? Let's flip the camera and find out. Alright, here we are. It almost looks as if I bought 2 affordable watches from AliExpress because they have come in 2 almost identical packages. Like I said though, they got diverted back and forth to a couple of different PO boxes, but they're here now. Which one will I open first because I don't know what's in them? That is a little heavier. This is a little lighter. That I think is going to be my clue. I'm going to open this one. I think it might be a chronograph. And I think I was right. SUGESS Seestern. Mind you, I'm expecting one SUGESS and one Seestern. Anyway, let's get into the box and see if it is indeed what I think it is. And if it is indeed what I think it is, it should be a chronograph. Breitling Top Time style homage. Ooh, look at that. I don't necessarily think I was expecting a mesh as well. Ordered this one because it was the cheapest I had ever seen a SEA-GULL ST1901. I think I paid about $114 US for this one. That is really, really cheap. If I can ever get it out of the box, maybe try and use 2 hands, Jody. Usually helps. Yeah, there we go. Now, I believe it's a 40mm. I'll get the calipers out to it in just a second. But yep, there it is. SEA-GULL ST1901. Or should I say, there it is, the SEA-GULL ST1901. Quite remarkable that you can get a mechanical column wheel chronograph on your wrist with an entire watch attached to it for less than $120. You only have one choice though, this is your choice. I remember the days when you could only really pick this up in a SEA-GULL 1963. Nowadays though, everybody's doing it. I see Islander have just dropped their first mechanical column wheel affordable chronograph, Studio Underdog, Laurier, Baltic, so many brands are using this one. Now there are pros and cons, the pro being it's cheap, it's interesting to look at. The con is it has a high failure rate. I hear from brand owners about 10% failure rate. If I'm paying $120, that's okay. If I'm paying $600 for an Underdog, yeah, I'd be checking the warranty conditions very closely before purchase. All right, let's give it a wind and see if we can get it working. There we go. We got it working. And there you go, more evidence on the front. You can see the small second register there at the 9 o'clock. The second hand just passing the 12. As I said, a lot of Breitling in this one, but I don't think Breitling quite used this colour scheme, and I can't remember ever seeing a lightning bolt chronograph hand on a Breitling. That one is purely the preserve of the Seiko Modders and the Rolex Milgauss, but there you go. Now in terms of dimensions, this one reminds me a lot of the 40mm SEA-GULL 1963, so 40mm in diameter, only 13.3mm thick though, still got those annoying little blue stickers on the crowns. Bang on 50mm lug to lug, 20mm between the lug, I believe that is sapphire crystal. 50 meters of water resistance from a push-pull crown, and weighed as supplied is 73 grams, not an awful lot of weight, and we've had a look at the movement already, the ST1901. The lightning chronograph hand is not the only slightly unusual feature on this one, shall we say. I've never seen a perforated rally strap where the perforations don't go all the way through the strap before. Well, I suppose I'm okay with it. You do get the kind of interest from the top half, but without having to look at your arm hair as you would if it went all the way through. High polish silver stainless steel buckle and tang here to match the high polish case. Case finish is really simple, high polish throughout, nice and smooth to the touch though, and it is a branded crown with the red star, suggesting that it comes from the same factory as most of the 1963s. That's on wrist, it's sizable when compared to the 38mm chronos that tend to feature this movement. But it's not unwieldy. I have tried all of the different case sizes, really the 42, the 40 and the 38 that come out of the aforementioned factory. The 40 is probably the maximum for me. I am more comfortable with the 38, but this one wasn't available in the 38, so I went for the 40. Legibility is not too bad, bit of a smorgasbord of colours there. All of those different colours, you've got the orange, the yellow, the blue and a pale green, but somehow it hangs it all together, not too bad. But as I bought this one pretty much on the strength of the movement, let's finish with the SUGESS by having another look at the movement. Fascinating to watch this one in operation. It is one of these movements that looks okay from a distance, but the closer you get to it, the more you realise it's based on a Swiss movement from the 1940s that is now mass manufactured very cheaply in China. There's always machining marks, the decoration looks good from afar, but not really when you get up close. But yeah, fascinating to look at, be a great watch to give to a kid or something, perhaps not in this size though, to show them the inner workings of a mechanical timepiece. So moving on to number 2 then, if number 1 was a watch that I bought for the movement, number 2 is definitely not a watch that I bought for the movement. I've got plenty of this style of movement. I bought it because it was ridiculously underpriced in my opinion. I only paid $110 for this one, and you just wait to see how much watch I got for that amount of money. Yeah, a remarkably similar unboxing experience so far, and indeed, it's another one of the exact same box, SUGESS Seestern, but I did get it right according to weight. This one is heavier. Because this one is a diver on a full stainless steel bracelet. If it looks familiar, it probably should. This is a Doxa 600T lookalike by Seestern, who clearly are a sister brand of SUGESS. $110 for a watch that is this good looking, full stainless steel bracelet, decent clasp here by the looks of it, 200 meters of water resistance, NH35, and I believe there's a little trick feature with the loom. So to break with tradition, I'm actually going to show you a loom video in an unboxing, which is something I never do. But before then, let's peel off the stickers. Now, of course, you can get Seiko powered 200 meter dive watches with sapphire crystal from the likes of Pagani and even Addy's Dive and Willard for under $100, sometimes a lot under $100. I have proved that many times on the channel in the past, including the Addy's Dive Monster, the puck lookalike that I reviewed a couple of weeks ago. But this one, for just over $100, you get a little bit more, I think. Look at that. That is a sapphire bezel insert. You get a really interesting case borrowed from Doxa, of course. With a 4 o'clock crown, you get a signed crown, you get a decent multi-link bracelet, and you get a perfectly acceptable clasp. Certainly on a watch at this price. Again, the Seestern star is there. Pressed upper, milled lower, but heaps of micro adjust, you wouldn't be rushing to replace it. And wait till you see the case back. Look at that, that is a proper multi-finished deep pressed case back featuring a great wave of Kanagawa lookalike with this starfish hurtling itself towards the wave, which does always rather give me a chuckle. Plus the whole thing feels really nice, really chunky, and generally well made. In terms of dimensions, they are all also borrowed from Doxa, but that isn't a bad thing because it wears well. 40mm in diameter, 13.3mm thick, 48 bang on lug to lug. 20mm between the lugs, it tapers down to 18 and back up to 20 at the clasp. Sized up for me 7-inch wrist, I had to remove 3 links, so you've got up to about a 7.5 out of the box. It weighs in at 168 grams. Like I said, it does feel solid, it does feel chunky, and that is a reason for it. Flat sapphire with a little bit of anti-reflective undercoating, screw down crown, 200 meters of water resistance, Seiko NH35 in the back. Very angular 70s case, again borrowed from Doxa, but all very nicely finished. Fine brush to that mid case, fine brush to the upper lug surfaces, but there is a high polish chamfer. You can see it catching the light there, running all the way from lug to lug on one side, opposite the crown, and then half of the way up
on the crown side, thanks to the crown and the crown guard itself. Really interesting crown. I showed you the Seestern logo a minute or two ago. Now, it's a kind of little button crown. Look at what happens when I unscrew it. Very neatly integrated, and then it pops out, and you can see it's like a mushroom. It is wider at the head than at the stem. But again, easy to operate, easy to open, easy to close, easy to screw, easy to unscrew. The bracelet itself is another one of these, what I call hex oysters, kind of angled oyster style 3-link. Now, that is technically a male end link, and check just how much it juts straight out and down there, conforms to the wrist very nicely indeed. Now, we had a look at the bezel insert earlier on, sapphire and double graded. You've got feet in orange around the outer half and minutes in white around the inner half, fully graded as well with that triangle up there at the 12 o'clock. 120 click. Very nice action. Definitely one of the nicest bezel actions that I've seen on a $100 diver in an awful long time. Everything lines up as well. In terms of dial and hands, it's all pretty simple. It's all pretty doxa, including the color. If you're going to have an angular 70s diver, you may as well have it in a 70s color, and there aren't too many colors more 1970s than bright orange. It's a good orange as well. Now, those indices, I would say they were printed on, but they are raised off the main dial surface. Another nice touch is a beveled frame around the date complication, just printed on frame, but there are nicely, neatly executed bevels. Now, just like Doxa, Seestern have offset the depth rating and the brand name. Whether you like that or not, hey, it's up to you, but it is very much part of the original watch, the 600T, so it's very much part of this look-alike as well, as are the handset. Black fence posts, high polished, with a kind of curve to the upper surface, and you have that square lollipop second hand, again nice and angular, again nice and 70s. Printed minute track around the outer edge, and that's your lot in terms of the dial. Well, that's almost everything in terms of the dial. I alluded to one little secret, one more nice little touch that this watch has, which really it shouldn't have given the cost, and that is a loomed date wheel. Have a look at it there. 3, nice and bright, nice and clear. You can see the date there for after dark. Now, the loom on this watch I wouldn't describe as fantastic though. When I turn the speed up, yeah, it's all pretty much gone by the end of my test, but it looks not too bad initially, and let's not forget, you're not paying an awful lot for one of these. That's it on wrist. Great colour. I love orange watches. This is up there, perhaps not as intense as the Bull of a Devil Diver, but a great shade of orange, and it's not always easy to get an orange watch to look right. 5 holes of micro adjust, so you're bound to get a decent fit, particularly when combined with small links. Overall, I thought I was going to be impressed with this one when I ordered it for $110. And I'm really, really impressed with it. So there you have it. Not an awful lot of originality on display today, and I did have to wait a couple of weeks longer than I would have liked to have, and I expected to have when I ordered them, but I think these two were both worth the wait. For under $250 for the pair, what can you buy in terms of watches from a high street shopping mall for $250? Not an awful lot. I got 2 cracking watches, 2 really interesting, 2 really different watches, 2 really bright and colourful watches. Yeah, you can't argue with that, can you? Not for that price.
So there you have it, 2 cracking watches for a combined total of under $250. It is no wonder that I and a lot of you love trawling through AliExpress to find some bargains. Not exactly what you call original though, but if you're alright with that, there's so much value to be had, it's ridiculous. Why not check out a couple of my top 10 sale videos while you're here? One here and one there. Thanks for watching, I'll see you all again in the next one.